Well, I started studying architecture early 80s, and that coincided with the Renault factory being completed. And so obviously as an aspiring architect, it was the exciting thing to look at, as well as all the subsequent, great buildings that came out of, Norman and Norman's office. So somehow I can't imagine, architecture without all this kind of body of work that has influenced me and influenced, the field of architecture at large. I mean, I think the exemplary buildings, from the airports to the tall office buildings, down to furniture, I think it's been enormous. It's been, systematically, thinking about the future, if you like, about where do we go next and how do we redefine, this mega-sized new airport we need, or how do we redefine the contemporary workspace? How do we redefine a tall building that is not just a place for work, if it's an office building, but also as a structure that sits, and becomes part of the fabric of the city? I think it's difficult really to measure. And I think that buildings have that kind of possibility. There is a scale to them that tends or lends itself to constant questioning. However, for it to be completely new, I think it takes longer. I think architecture's slowness sometimes is also is what makes it special, because it's about also endurance. Buildings last, whereas other things fall out of time, out of touch. And so I am interested in the resilience of buildings also, not just for them to, yes, we as architects need to constantly be looking to the future and to be pushing our industry forward, so that we can stay connected with culture and with, all the technologies that feed into the kind of the building industry. I really love 30 St. Mary's Axe. I like the fact that it is playful both with kind of the aesthetic of a tower, but also with its kind of organization. It just questions, from scratch, what is the shape of a floor plate, how do you integrate structure, how do you integrate services, what kind of form do you give to a tower so it doesn't have negative impact to its immediate environment, especially in terms of wind. But it does all these things, but it does it artfully. It does it architecturally. It's about how the structure, for example, produces a column-free workplace and allows you to, change your kind of work mode over time in many different ways, or facilitates interaction between people, etc. And I think that that's what you want architecture to be inspiring, to be thought-provoking, to make you think. In an age when we are so engrossed with our, let's say, the world of the digital, I think architecture needs to find its relevance also in its kind of physicality. And I think that that's a building that really does it. When I go to meetings and I'm 99% of the time the only woman in the meeting, that's when it hits me that, I don't think of myself as odd, but I look at the room and think, well, obviously they are thinking I'm odd. And I think that it affects, women architects in many different levels, because, whether it is thought of or whether it's kind of unconscious, people probably, generally speaking, relate more easily to people like themselves. And so imagine if you are 99% of the time in a room and you are not like other people. you know, I'm lucky that the kind of the projects that come to me, ultimately, obviously those clients are really the exceptional ones, because they've really taken a different route where they are going to go to the 1%, not the 99%. Which, you know, imagine if I consider myself a very lucky one, because I have a body of built work behind me, and you know, I have somehow got to know a lot of people through the 27 years I've practiced. So imagine if you are a young, kind of a recent graduate of architecture, a woman, and wants to, you know, pursue the career after university. It can be quite off-putting, and I think it is something that we do have to address.